what I'm on the agenda for is that we seem to have over the last 3 or 4 years or so had problems with travel and so forth. And Leroy, this kind of addresses you, I guess, in a way, in that we had the Supervisors convention down in Biloxi on June 17th through the 20th. And Cynthia made reservations for everybody and early, and we got a good price and a good hotel price on the hotels by registering early. Leroy, you made yours on your own, and you did it late, and because of being late, we got to charge a higher price. But what concerns me is, you made your reservations for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, and the convention was Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So, it looks to me like that we paid for a motel and per diem for a couple of days, a day down there when there was no convention going on. And we, as a board, inadvertently approved that because Ralph didn't notice the difference in the dates. And because he didn't notice the difference in the dates, he just saw that there were reservations made for the convention. And so he just signed off on it and put it on the docket, and the board approved the docket. Ralph thought maybe that the solution to that problem would be that you pay the money back by deducting the money off your mileage. And of course, you objected to that, and you got Tim Hudson involved, and Tim Hudson says, since Ralph had approved it, since the board had approved it, we couldn't deduct that money off your mileage check. And the only way we could do that is to get reimbursed that money that was improperly paid was by board order of the Board of Supervisors. So I want to make a motion that the board request Mr. Brooks to return the money that was for Sunday's motel room and Sunday's per diem. And how much does that amount to?
The motel room was $158, and the per diem would be $41.
So $199? That seems like that's not a whole lot of money. But when you, we're looking after taxpayers' money, this is not our money, and it's taxpayers' money, and it's improperly spent, in my opinion. So I'll make a motion that we ask Mr. Brooks to reimburse the county the $199, and that if he refuses to reimburse the county the $199, that Ralph Billingsley has the authority to deduct that from any funds that we owe Mr. Brooks. That's my motion. Do I have a second? Second. Any discussion?
Let me say a couple of things, and it's not even about the money, Harry. It's about the fact that you continue to want to run things. It's really about you trying to embarrass me. You know, from the day that I ever met you in this boardroom, you know what you told me? Leroy, I've come up here to put you in your place. Now, Jackie Ball has since deceased, and I don't know whether you figured out who that third person that was sitting in the room was, but we always have a witness when it's necessary. Since 2000, part of your life goal has been to try to embarrass me, to cause me trouble and money, which you've done a real good job of it. And there's some points, some stress. You know, but I've come to the recognition that, and you should have too, that after all this time and all the things that you've done, I'm still in office. That no matter what you've done, it may appeal to some of your misguided supporters, but it has not affected my politics. You know, the guy said to me the other day in the bar, well, a couple of weeks ago in the barbershop, because when I go in the barbershop, they like to talk about Leroy and Harry. This old man was not even involved in the conversation, but he said, son, I'm going to tell you something. He says you can do a lot more good trying to help people than getting entangled with Harry Sanders. You know, and I thought about that, and it made a lot of sense. So what I'm telling you, I don't plan to pay the money. I didn't do anything illegal. Is that the reason? Matter of fact, I got mixed up because I thought that the tournament was on Monday, but then the other thing is there's no policy that says, Leroy, you can't go down on Sunday or whatever. You know, and you talk about the money like you're such a savior of taxpayers' money. I've witnessed you since you've been here. You allow money to just be almost thrown out in the dishwater. This is about you wanting to aggravate me. But what I want to tell you today, so you'll know forever, you're not going to aggravate me anymore. I'm not going to pay the money. If I've got to go to court, whatever I'm going to do, it's the principle. Is that, and I know everybody thought, boy, it's going to be a blowout in the board meeting. There's not going to be any more blowouts with you. So, no, I'm not going to pay it. It was a mistake, according to you all. But you just can't arbitrarily decide, oh, we shouldn't have done that, because you can do it with everybody. You know, so is you walk around like, you know, you run the county, and I got to admit, you've done a great job at being the man. But at the end of the day, when you're gone from this board or you're dead, all it's going to be are memories. You know, the world has produced, and certainly Mississippi has produced a lot of men like you. I always think about Bill Bowl, Ross Barnett, and some of the others, and I guess you go on a worldly plane, you can look at Hitler and other folks that have clamored for power. And at the end of the day, it does not translate into anything. This is not about the money. This is something that you want to put out in the public so people perceive Leroy is doing something wrong. So when you go back to some of your misguided supporters, they can pat you on the back and say, Harry, that's right, put Leroy in this place. But let's forget about the politics, because there's another piece I want to share with you. It's a spiritual piece. As I've gotten older, I've gotten more spiritual. I think about when you were sick, and I got up in my church on Sunday, and I openly prayed for you. I prayed for you in this boardroom. When I walked out of the church, people came to me and said, why are you praying for Harry Sanders? That's because I don't want anything to happen to Harry. You know, is that, you know, he's got this issue. You know, from a human standpoint, I often say I don't dislike you, but from a spiritual standpoint, I've got to love you. You're not one of my favorite people, but I tolerate you, got to work with you, but spiritually, I love you. And I think about, you know, one of the reasons I prayed for you to get well, because I wanted you the opportunity to perhaps think about some of the things you do. Since you've been on this board, you have taken great pride in trying to destroy people. I've seen the way you've done people. You use them up and throw them away, and you mistreat employees. You don't treat all. You know, when the last administrator got ready to leave, he met with some of the black employees and told them all the racial things you said. He apologized. Rocky Allen came up to me on 2 occasions and apologized for the way he had acted. But he was being manipulated. I've seen the way you misuse board members. And I want to say this to Ralph, because I said it to him the other day. I saw him in a rare form, and I told him that don't get caught up in you and I political dissension. If he's got to do something as it relates to the administrator, I don't want you to stroke out, Ralph, because of the pressure of politics. I've been here 30 years, and one thing I got to say, you will never say anything bad about any supervisor. You don't have to tell me. I've been around long enough to know. Yesterday, when I got the call about Tyrone Ellis, it bothered me. Saturday, Sam Pickham did a big thing for a guy that just discovered he had cancer. We had a young girl, 2 days ago, Rowena, that 20-something years old, died with a stroke. 2 weeks ago, I went to a funeral of my childhood friend that had a stroke. Rowena and I are going to a funeral to one of our classmates. So life is pretty valuable. And to come in here and engage with all the rhetoric with you so you can go out and say, you're the king. Harry, you are the king. Okay. you know, but there's also in the 5th chapter of Mark, I know you go to church,